have taken to the polls in America's hotly contested midterm elections. The Democrats have taken control of the House of Representatives, but President Donald Trump's Republicans extended their majority in the Senate. Despite the loss of the House, Trump is deeming the election a big victory. For more on this, we are joined by eNCA's U.S. correspondent, Simon Marks. Simon, is Donald Trump wrong?
Well, there's something in these election results, Vuyo, for everybody to celebrate, and the president will personally be celebrating momentarily at the White House. He's due to be making his first public comments in a press conference that is about to get underway here, and it's absolutely apparent that Donald Trump is trying to control the narrative of the outcome of these elections, but it's also apparent that the Democrats were the big winners. After all, they are now going to exercise control over the House of Representatives. That's a big deal. A 9% swing in the vote to the Democrats. They take control of the House of Representatives from the Republicans, and that means a number of things. One, they'll be able to block Donald Trump's legislative agenda for the remaining 2 years of his presidency. Two, if they choose, and there's no indication right now that they're going to, but one day they could choose to initiate impeachment proceedings against the president. And number three, they have the capacity, it is believed, to secure access to his tax return, a document that President Trump has so far refused to put into the public domain, and most analysts believe that's because it contains some embarrassing information for the president. But look, the night was not a write-off for Republicans at all. The fact that they have extended their majority in the US Senate, and the fact that President Trump's vigorous anti-immigrant rhetoric on the campaign trail did not turn off large numbers of Republican voters, although there are some indications that he's got problems with suburban women in some battleground states. Nevertheless, the White House will believe that Donald Trump did what he needed to do to cement the support of his base, and that's one of the reasons why he is celebrating the outcome of these midterm elections. It could have been much, much worse for him.
Put in a historical context, Simon, it's not a bad outcome when you look at how people like Barack Obama, how people like Bill Clinton have fared previously, and especially given what people were saying in the run-up to this election, that this election will in fact be a referendum of Donald Trump's presidency.
Yes, I think that's right. If you were looking for this election to demonstrate that the United States en masse was repudiating President Trump and the polarizing politics that he espouses, then you will have been disappointed. And certainly President Trump has not suffered the scale of the reverses here that some of his predecessors have suffered in midterm elections themselves. Another interesting development here has been voiced by the president's own son, Donald Trump Jr., who took to Twitter this morning to say the 2020 presidential election cycle begins now. And there's probably some truth in that. Donald Trump will not be entirely uncomfortable with the idea that Nancy Pelosi, the Democrats' leader in the House of Representatives, is now going to become, we think, the Speaker of the House of Representatives, the most powerful elected Democrat in Washington. Donald Trump loves nothing more than having a target to go after. He can't really spend the next 2 years talking about Hillary Clinton as he's done over the course of the last 2 years. So now he's got an opportunity to turn his attention and his fire on Nancy Pelosi and this new cadre of young Democrats, many of them women, 2 of them Muslim women, becoming the first Muslim American women to be elected to the United States Congress. They are going to serve as a very tempting target for Donald Trump's Twitter account as he prepares for what is the ultimate prize for him, the election in which his name will actually be on the ballot in 2 years' time, the presidential election in November 2020.
Simon Marks, let's leave it there for this evening. Our U.S. correspondent.